What's going on, college football fans? Welcome back in. It's your boy Coach I here on the Fanatic Sports Network. That's right, man. SEC Snap Count tonight. Y'all already know what we're talking about this week. It is SEC Media Days, and today the teams that are on task are Alabama, Florida, OU, and Mississippi State. Got some special guests in here tonight, and we're going to jump into it. So let's go ahead and get it started.
No, I got you on this one, Coach. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Fanatic. But we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah. PFANATTIC. The Fanatic, where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call.
That's right, man. It's Coach I, man. Fanatic Sports Network. We're back in here talking SEC Media Days. Y'all know when the SEC Media Days and other conference media days come up, that means college football is right around the corner. Fall camp starting in about 2 weeks. Hey, all the talking, hey, get it in the next 2 weeks because talking season about to be over. It's about to be proven season. But we're here to talk about some of the things that were said at SEC Media Days from various coaches and players. And listen, if you're new to the channel, man, we talk all things SEC here. Yes, I am a Georgia alum, but we do talk all the SEC here on Fanatic Sports Network. So let's go ahead and bring our guys in and let's get into it. While you're here, man, hit that like and subscribe and share it with somebody to share it with some more somebodies. Bringing up my co-host, it's the Stat Guy. What's going on, Stat Guy?
Hey, what's going on, man? You already know 2 times in 1 week, football right around the corner, and we itching. It's been a long winter. It's been a long spring, man. Let's just go ahead and spot the damn ball already.
Big facts, man. Big facts, man. We got a special guest. I told you I was going to be talking Alabama, OU, Florida, Mississippi State. We got one of the guys that I first linked up with on the YouTube world, man. Realistic Bama fan. It's Jonathan Lewis from Bama Fan Podcast. What's going on, Jay Luke?
Man, we're getting closer to kickoff, man, and I bet Castellanos just put out another tweet about Alabama.
Man, we're going to talk about that, too, because they did ask somebody about Castellanos, man. It's crazy, man. He out here, listen, I hope he ain't out here writing checks his butt can't cash. I'll tell you that.
Bro.
Listen, Alabama was up to bat first, Jay. So give me your overall thoughts on Kalen DeBoer's, I guess you say his pre-speech before the questions or things of that nature.
Well, I try not to look too much into SEC Media Days and all this stuff, but it's hard not to nitpick and pull every little thing out of everything they say and diagnose it and start rumors and post everything on X and get everybody stirred up, of course. But, man, Kalen DeBoer, to me, he seemed – in my opinion, a little uptight, a little timid when it came down to it. He really focused in on why he brought those 3 players because he knew one of those questions would end up being, if he didn't address it, why isn't Ty Simpson, your supposed starting quarterback, up here with you? He definitely addressed that, talking about, look, these 3 guys could have left right to the NFL. Caden Proctor could have went to Iowa and stayed there. They decided to come back, and they deserve to be up on that podium. So, definitely address that. Definitely address that, the standard has not been met, the year, we'll say year and some change. He's been there, obviously. Recruiting, I think, for the most part, from the fan side, we're definitely pleased with the recruiting. I don't think you could be anything other than pleased, right? Top 4, I believe, year 1, and now we're possibly going to be in the top 3 this year. But when you look at what he talks about, what he said, it's very Nick Saban-ish. It's very Kirby Smart-ish, right? So he's not going to give you too much. He's going to give you the bare bones of what you're expecting him to say, and then he's not going to dive too much into specifics, which he never has done that. If you go back to even his Washington days, the Fresno State, Sioux Falls, you can see he's always kind of been that way. And usually what most people don't understand either is Ryan Grubb is usually his talking piece. Last year, he wasn't there to do it for him, so Kalen DeBoer kind of got tossed in the fire with Nick Sheridan beside him, honestly, and Kane Womack doing the talking. So it was interesting seeing him there without Ryan Grubb, who usually is his talking piece, to be honest with you, and navigate through the pre-speech, navigate through those questions and stuff like that. But Caden Proctor, Tim Keenan III, and Deontay Lawson definitely deserved to be there. I thought there should have been no questions about Ty, and there ended up not really being any. as far as why he didn't come and all that good stuff.
That's right, man. They kind of asked about the quarterback situation, and the board just kind of gave the same answer he gave back in the spring, that
Exactly.
Ty has the most reps.
Yep.
If I had to start today, because of the reps, but he did say all three quarterbacks were coming along, taking, a lot of snaps together. So it's still a battle to be had, man. Bringing on our fourth guy is our guy from, listen, man, y'all already know it's Shawty Parker, from my guy from Respect the Hedges and Just My Damn Opinion. What's going on, Shawty?
Gentlemen, what's happening?
Hey, man. Getting it started, man, talking these SEC media days, man. How you feeling today?
Good, man. Hanging in there, man. Ready to talk a little bit more football, man. It's getting interesting. I'm ready to get this out the way.
Big facts, man. We had brought up, man, Jonathan starting us off talking about Kalen DeBoer was up first today. I did get to check out Kalen DeBoer, a little bit of Caden Proctor as well. But DeBoer talked about not a lot of turnover in the building, not a lot of turnover on the staff. That's always a good thing. Not a lot of turnover on the team. I mean, you did get some guys from the portal, lost a couple of guys, but I think in relation to like everybody else, it's not as much. So he talked about that. Yeah.
We lost one defensive staff member. You add on Ryan Grubbs, and that was the entire movement out of 119 personnel. Talking about staff.
Yeah. Right. And that's key. I mean, you got to think you will have when you one of the top teams in college football, everybody's trying to poach your staff. You know what I'm saying? So you lose people every year, and it happens to the best of us. So, Shawty, what's your initial thoughts on DeBoer and his I would say his presence on stage? Jonathan kind of said he kind of looked, a little timid, I guess we would say, for somebody who's won so many games.
So, that's one way that when I look at these media days, I don't necessarily look at it from, what they're saying. It's more about the body language and how they present themselves, because it ain't nothing but coach talk. That's why I'm so ready to get over this. But to that point, I could see timid in him being timid. And he was kind of like, to me, he gave all this like, I just don't know why I have to keep explaining myself kind of situation. That's kind of how I felt, like why I got to keep explaining myself, but I'm gonna answer it the right way. You know what I'm saying? That's what I kind of got from him. But one thing I will say is that he definitely knows what he knows. He's very sharp. He stood up straight the whole time. At no point in time, I never really felt like he was just intimidated. It was just like he was shy. He just never took control of the actual interview. You know what I'm saying? But he stood his ground. He was like, he wasn't no punk or nothing, but it was just like, come on, man, you got more. You the man. You coming off 9-win season.
Right.
But to the expectations of Alabama, in a sense, that wasn't good enough, and that's where it showed to me.
Facts. Stat guy, what do you think of Kalen DeBoer's opener and how his posturing was?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was impressed with just coming out and saying that they didn't meet the standard. Obviously, a school like Bama, if you don't play for a natty, win the natty, those standards are a little bit different than elsewhere. But I was very impressed with him saying, look, we didn't meet the standard. There's work to be done to get to the standard. And that's where the focus is right now. I thought that was a great way to kind of kick things off and get things going for him.
Yeah, man. And like I say, we're going to keep talking about Alabama, but y'all know we're talking about Oklahoma, Florida, and Mississippi State today. Let's bring on our other guest who will have some insight on Oklahoma as well and get his thoughts on Alabama. His Hall of Fame college football is Jason Watkins. What's going on, Jason?
Gentlemen, what's going on?
What's up, man? SEC Media Days. Football is near. OU out today. Kalen DeBoer was up to bat first. Did you get a chance to check out Kalen DeBoer?
I watched a little bit of it. Yeah, I was just hearing what Stats said. And I agree. I think that he, you expect for a coach that's championship level and all that stuff to, when you take over at Alabama, nobody's supposed to give you any freebies or anything like that. And I think he knows that they missed opportunities, not only with Oklahoma, but Vanderbilt as well. Right. You go and you beat Georgia, and then to lose those two games the way that they did was probably not acceptable. And I think that's not acceptable to do that, especially the Vanderbilt game. They hadn't lost to them in 40-something years. So, I thought that it was the right thing for him to say, no doubt.
Right. Like you say, it didn't shy away from it. A couple of people asked him some questions. He did talk about Jonathan. There was, I think you guys have seniors that's on it that you lost from the team. Seniors, 3 defensive seniors, 3 special teams. He brought that up, and I thought that was a good point because I think people kind of dismiss special teams. You know, and say he said y'all lost your punter, your kicker, and your long snapper.
Yeah,
that's tough in a league like the SEC. You know what I'm saying?
Look, games, and obviously all of us on this panel know you could lose a game in a heartbeat. Well, you know what I mean? In special teams, in punting, you know, in my opinion, when you go back and look at the Alabama run, in my opinion, like J.K. Scott, I will always remember him as a punter at Alabama because that dude, in my opinion, won some of the games for us off his leg. Like, so he, or at least gave us the chance to win the games. You know what I mean? So no, I definitely don't downplay when you think about Will Reichert and all the, you know what I mean, the records he set at Alabama and stuff like that. These runs don't happen without the third leg of the team, you know, which is special teams. So no doubt. But obviously, I'll let you, I guess, move into this situation. But obviously, the Florida State quarterback, Thomas Castellanos, that was a big talking point in this. And I knew it was going to be brought up by the players. The questions were going to fly towards him. And I don't know if you guys know, but Thomas put out another little bit of then. Yeah, since then. So, yeah, he actually was with or near Isaiah Horton, I guess, and then spoke out a little bit, talking about, well, I guess we'll see you boys on the field. So, yeah, so the trash talking is going back and forth. But to be fair, I'll explain more in a little bit when we get into this and when you bring it up.
Facts. What's going on, Mars Jam in the building? We appreciate you jumping in there, Mars Jam, saying Boomer. We appreciate that. Yeah, you're right. I did, like I say, I caught Kalen DeBoer. I caught a little bit of Caden Proctor too, and they did ask Caden Proctor about the Thomas Castellano. And since we don't have to reach for, we got a former player in the SEC here. Should we have been in the media era, do you think as a former player, like when you was playing, would that have mattered to you? Somebody came out and say, hey man, we going XYZ to Georgia, and you would y'all be talking about that in the locker room, or you just kind of like, well, man, dude gonna say what he say?
I mean, it'd be hard not to. I mean, it's gossip. I mean, why not? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be hard not to, especially as a player, but you know, it kind of is what it is. You know, one thing about, you know, players, no matter who you are, if you're on that roster, you're getting some type of media training. So you should be ready and got to be ready. And especially if you're going to a particular event like that, you're going to have some training going in that. So, you know, some of those things are going to be, you know, prepared for.
Right, because Caden said, I think his answer was, hey, man, we trying to finish up summer workouts, focus on fall camp. You know, we'll see who win when we play, but we're not really focused on that. Like you say, trained by the coaching staff and the media, but like I know as a player, I was thinking when he was talking, I was like, now when he in the locker room, they probably definitely gonna be like, you know, old buddy was talking all that cash.
They always give you something to anchor yourself for interviews. Like it'll be the same phrase. You can say the same phrase almost to every question. If you get kind of caught up or trapped up, they give you an anchor or something to anchor yourself.
Tim Keenan kind of stood his ground a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw what Tim Keenan and Deontay Lawson said, but Keenan didn't shy away from it as much. Did any of you guys see him speak?
I didn't get to see Tim Keenan.
Keenan's going to be one of the guys that can shut him up a little bit on the field, too,
so they asked him the question. when you go and watch them asking the question, he stops and pauses for a second, side eyes over where DeBoer was standing. So you knew something was about to come when he kind of did that move and looked straight, and he's like, any disrespect to the team will be handled between the hashes and on the field.
So I like that answer, like, because like you say, I understand, like Shorty said, you can tell when you listen to the lot of players, they just kind of mimic what their coach say. I'm not saying I want you to go out there and just go back and forth and talk trash, but he's like, you know, we heard it. We'll address it between the lines, that type of thing.
That's what Deontay said too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Those two kind of went hand in hand. They're on the same page. Those are, like we said, like Coach I brought up, they're the defensive guys, you know, so they're gonna have something to say about it.
Big facts. Shout out to Frank getting in here, man. We appreciate you coming in, supporting the show. But Jason, did you get to see? You got to see the defensive guys, Deontay Lawson, at media day. See, I got to see.
I heard about what Deontay Lawson was saying. I was going back looking through it. I didn't catch it live, but I went back and I saw that Deontay had said, they kind of backed off it, but they weren't gonna go full on
right
Castellanos, obviously. But they. It seemed like they both said the same thing. It was like, hey, all disrespect type of stuff we'll handle when we get on the field, but we're not going to talk about it now, basically. Which I respect that. And you know what? If you've played this game at any level, I know that our high school coach, man, they loved to pour through newspaper clippings and see who was talking shit. And they would stick it right over the urinal in your locker room so that you saw it 2, 3, 4 times that week.
Kind of like Brian Kelly putting the Clemson paws on all the in all the weight room and all that stuff. So not that Clemson was talking noise or whatever, but just to kind of give them a little extra motivation.
But I mean, yeah, and it's like coaches look for reasons and ways to motivate their team to step up to another level, whether it's game 1 or game 10. You know what I mean? You're always looking for something. I remember last year whenever South Carolina, you had the transfer receiver that went to Ole Miss.
Juice Wells.
Juice Wells, and they all had something to say about that. They wanted to whoop his ass because he was, the way that they felt about it. And I mean, you're looking for those little things. You go back to Michael Jordan back in the day. He would manufacture shit to put the chip on his shoulder. So I mean, this is just coaches doing what they're doing, and I don't know what's going on with. To me, that should have been nipped in the bud. If it got talked about a second time, and I want to hear about this, Jonathan, but it got talked about a second time, and he's talking shit again.
Right?
What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, Kalen or not Kalen, but
Thomas.
What is Mike Norvell doing sitting there allowing this shit to go on? I'd be like, dude, shut the hell up. You've been here for 5 minutes.
I can tell you right now, he already got talked to, because what happened was when that statement was made, about probably 10 minutes later, they said he re-said what he said by saying, look, I'm saying this stuff because I felt like our team was 2-10 last year. They weren't any good, and they need confidence going into this season. So in my opinion, he said something. Mike Norvell, probably like you said, bro, chill out a little bit. And then he came back a little bit and was like, well, what I actually meant, or why I'm saying all this, is because of this. And it's one thing to be confident, but Shorty, I mean, you played
in the country.
But like what I'll ask, say, Shorty, like, so let's say you on the other end of that and your quarterback came out and said that, wouldn't that kind of fire you up? Like, yeah, we're going to back him up. He said it. We're going to stand on it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever motivation you want to say or get or use, man. But if you really that kind of guy, you don't need that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. I totally get, as a competitor, I get it. So I don't have no problem. I see it both ways.
Right. That's how I am.
We always about, you know what I'm saying? You stay ready, so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah, right. You'll have to get ready. Sooner Legends in the building. What's going on, Mike Dell? We appreciate you getting in, my man. What about you, Stat Guy? Comments by Thomas Castellano, whether you're on the opposing side or you with him, you for it, or just hey man, just wait to put the pads on and prove it on the field.
I mean, from his situation, it's dumb, right? They were 2-10. I mean, they were horrible last year. They got a ton of question marks this year, and the Alabama stuff isn't the first wild thing out of pocket he said this summer. He also came out and said that he's been whooping up on the ACC his entire career. Like where? Not
weird,
at both.
Wasn't it? That was a weird statement.
You like dog. You got your starting job taken at BC. Oh, you were whooping up on the ACC while sitting the bench. Come on, dog. So if it's the right guy saying it, and he's got the horses to back him, hey, more power to you. But if you keep going and saying it, I can't get behind that, dog.
Right, and I think it goes to what Shawty said. You said if it's the right guy saying it might hold more weight, but Shawty saying if you are the right guy, you probably ain't got
It's saying
to
it
say
anyway.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't got to be that. Sooner Freak in the building. What's going on, Sooner Freak? We appreciate you getting in. Coach Smoot is in the building. We appreciate you getting in, my guy. So yeah, man. So, but hey, listen, man, Alabama, we knew things like that was gonna come up because Castellano said it. Again, DeBoer mentioned not reaching the standard. We knew that question was gonna be answered, but overall, I thought it was really good. They asked DeBoer about the 8-9. Like I said, we talked about it earlier or backstage. They asked DeBoer about the 8 versus 9 conference games, and he said, "Well, look, we play, Wisconsin and Florida State out of conference, but if you want to throw another game in there, basically I welcome more competition. I want to see more high-end games against people anyway." And I think the top coaches don't really care, to be honest with you. I think it's those fringe teams that's like, oh, well, we shouldn't have to, play all of these games. And
They worry about the draw.
right, they were because they on the fringe. When the guys that want their teams or expect their teams to be elite, I think they like line them up, man. Let's see who the best. Like let's just do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I like that answer from DeBoer, man. Talking about that. Before we move on to OU, Jonathan, you got anything else that's about media days for Alabama that stood out to you?
No, I think the biggest thing is it's gonna be I'm gonna be paying attention to the transition with Ryan Grubb now. They're handling the media moving forward to see if DeBoer is gonna kind of back off like he used to in the past and let Grubb kind of take handle of it, or is he gonna stay at the forefront of this? That's really it, though.
Okay. My boy B Shaw jumping in the building. It's a great show, fellas. Appreciate you getting in. BNG in the building, our resident Texas fans. So, man, we got a full panel. That's right, man. We up in here, man, to talk about it. Listen, these 2 middle days, not to dismiss the Carolina Gamecocks or Razorbacks, but the 2 middle days is the meat of it. Listen, just like a sandwich, man. It's the meat of the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you had Georgia, Texas yesterday. You got Florida, OU, Bama today. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. So,
the Texas Blazing was on in full force yesterday, wasn't it?
Hey, listen. I don't think it's just in the SEC. I think nationally, everybody's loving Texas. They're loving Arch. It is what it is, but OU was up to bat today, Jason. Give us your initial thoughts on BV and his posturing or how he seemed at the podium today.
He kind of felt, to me, it kind of felt like he's like, I mean, I kind of took it as him saying, man, wait till you see what we got now. You think this stuff last year, yeah, we had it bad. We had a bunch of injuries. We had a terrible offensive coordinator. We weren't good enough, and he owned that. But it was almost like just kind of reading his body language. It felt to me like he was like, wait till you see what we got now.
Right. And we was talking a little bit before the show, and we wanted to ask you, since you got a post on the OU fan base, and I know me and you kind of talked about it on the other show or whatever, but of course we not to say they're going 6-6, but in your mind, if he goes 6-6, is he in trouble? Because the reason why I'm asking is because me and Stat Guy said he was at the podium like, it don't matter what I go this year, I ain't going nowhere. That's kind of he like confidence, you know what I'm saying?
I think he's confident that they're not going 6-6. Let's just put it that way. I mean,
okay, but it's like it seemed like to us it doesn't matter. Like in his mind, it don't matter as long as we go out and play hard. I'm good.
I've been on the record to say that I thought, and all this kind of was up until a few days ago when we found out that Joe Castiglione was retiring, right. So I've been on the record kind of saying that I felt like it would take something worse than last year, 6-7, of it would have to be that bad or worse, and just not look good without injuries, without any of that other stuff before they would actually fire him. They were going to owe him $35 million after this season. Right. They still owe his staff in that same range too. And they've got a lot of money invested in this roster that should be damn good. So do I think they want to fire Coach V? I do not.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, he was hired by Joe Castiglione. And there is a group of people around. There's boosters and there's certain people close to the program that don't want to hear no more excuses. And I got to tell you, I'm kind of one of them at this point. I'm at the point that, look, if aside from the only excuse you got left, if you ask me, is that if they were to have the same amount of injuries. Now we know that they've replaced some of the medical staff that we've had some worries and concerns about, the last couple of years. So I don't think that that's going to be an issue. I'm telling you that I believe that I think that he's confident in what he can do running the defense like he has before. I think he's confident in having a guy like John Mateer who comes in with some swag, he knows the offense. He's played under Arbuckle at Washington State. Same guy that was coaching up Cam Ward before he went to Miami. So I think that they feel good about that. They brought in a guy like Jaden Ott. They loaded up on receivers. And truth be told, you've got the best offensive line coach in the country that, yeah, they weren't good last year. They had a lot of injuries there, but I think that a lot of it had to do with their coordinator situation as well. I don't know that – I think that, yes, I think he's in more trouble today that Castiglione is retiring than he was a week ago before we found out about that.
Right. We figured that might have something to do with it.
I think so. But I do feel like overall he feels confident in what this team is. And, you did lose some close games last year, and it's the worst offense I've ever seen at Oklahoma, man. And I remember the 90s when they were trashed then too. It wasn't as bad as it was this past. It just everything that could go wrong went wrong. They couldn't score. They could not score. They even in great situations that, they turn over Tennessee twice in their own territory and immediately turn the ball over again. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like,
so confidence either way, you know what I'm saying, whether it's like I say, we got some naked pictures of somebody he ain't going nowhere, or just confident in the team and the product that he's about to put on the field, man. What's going on, Trojan Fight? Appreciate you getting in the building. Say what's up, panel. Hey, man, I told y'all, like I said, we talked a little Alabama, but we still got another guest to come up. It's my brother from another mother on another show, Sharpshooters Podcast. I got Brinsky Sharp representing the Tide. What's going on, Brinsky?
What's going on, man? The Tide is here. A Tide is coming.
Hey, man, I'm gonna let you get in with some comments on what you thought overall of DeBoer and some of the players. We talked about them a little bit, but we talked about how DeBoer kind of looked at the podium today and how he handled some of the questions.
Oh, man, I felt like they answered them good, as confident as they can. Like, it's nothing but a bunch of word salad doing this time, man. Just
Shawty said the same thing.
And have like just what you gonna get out. You just try not to put out billboard material for the most part. I know they answer Florida State quarterback. I always get his name wrong. Thomas
Castellano.
Yeah, right. The pizzeria. But
that's what he's gonna be.
Hey, man, that's just my little shade towards him, man. He good people. But no, man, they addressed that and I think they answered the best way possible. Said, man, all disrespect will be handled accordingly.
Right.
Deontay Lawson and Tim Keaton basically set the tone. So that let them know that, yeah, we ain't forget. Then we see a clip of him just talking about he was just trying to rally the team because they were 2-10. Oh, no, you already stepped in that mud.
Exactly.
But they're not going for that. So that time is already over with. But yeah, man, for the most part, you just pretty much just know that the season is approaching. These guys, everybody basically gonna say the same thing. Like, I feel like we're better this year, yada yada yada. Even though we our plans to make it to the playoffs, well, we plan on. It's the same stuff. We're better. Even Mississippi State saying the same thing that we say.
Facts, man. Scott Walker getting in the building. Say hello, Sooners and Benji. Appreciate you getting in, Scott Walker. Lonzo Powell in the building. Say Brent sounded like he ready to show these new toys he got for Christmas. Very confident, ready to prove it on the field. I definitely agree. Definitely sounded confident up there. Brinsky, what'd you think of Brent Venables? If it's anything different than, like you say, saying the same old. Because reason why I'm asking is because me and Shawty and Jonathan and Stack were talking. Out of all the coaches so far, Hugh Freeze seemed like the pressure is eating him alive, and he knows the pressure is there, and it's like today. I thought DeBoer was a little bit not as like I don't think pressure's getting to him, but like for somebody that's won as many games as he has, not just at Alabama, but in his career, he didn't seem as quietly confident. And Jonathan pointed out that could be because he's usually not the guy in the media; it's usually Ryan Grubb. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that. But that's why I was asking about these coaches. Do you see anything like that about out of Brent Venables, or did you see just total confidence out of him?
Yeah, he seemed confident to me. How about to say, you know what type of product that he bringing in? And I meant that as Jason this. I know William. I always get his name wrong. The D tackle out of Missouri, Williams Nwaneri.
Woodnary. Yeah, he ended up in Nebraska though.
Oh, okay. I did not know where he went. That for the longest time, I could not figure out where he went. I did.
Yeah, he was gonna. I think at one point, Jason, wasn't he gonna be at Mizzou, and then
he went to Mizzou. He went. Okay. He was pretty much locked into Oklahoma for most of his recruitment. They had, and he was wearing Oklahoma gloves and all this kind of stuff leading up to it. But it sounded like his mama kind of made it be known. And once they were able to start paying him while they were in high school, that kind of made it easier. And
I didn't ask that because. I was like, because I know y'all guys retain David Stone, and you could have had them two on the line together. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, but you got Jaden Jackson instead, and he was a freshman All-American, which Nwaneri was not. Nwaneri hardly actually played, actually. The reason he left is because he wasn't everything that he was billed to be. So I think we did just fine by getting Jaden Jackson instead. He's the first guy since Tommy Harris to start every game at defensive tackle as a true freshman. So,
but
now we talked about some of the pressure, like Jason laid it out beautifully for us. Confident in the team, but don't get it twisted. Like it's still OU. You still got to go out there and do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But Shawty, one of the questions they asked him about was his record in the Red River. You know what I'm saying? Which and that goes a long way to how your season is, or how it's at least perceived. What's your thoughts on the Red River this year? Kind of going into it, just from the preseason aspect.
I mean, I feel like Texas is definitely the better team, definitely on paper for sure. I mean, I think they're stacked, and all this is subjective. So I must say this because it's just my damn opinion. And there were many different interviews. And the one that I saw was a 21-minute interview of BV, and it was a very close-up interview. And guys, I'm on the totally opposite end of the spectrum. And I love my Oklahoma fans. I love my Oklahoma people. But I'm just talking about from a body language and how he projected himself to me from how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like the man, I'm just being honest, I think he in over his head. I think he's still learning. I still think he's learning the game, still learning how things really go. He's gonna need this year and definitely next year for he really get hope to this program to take it where it need to go. I just didn't get that from him in the interview that I saw. He just seemed like he in over his head. I hate to say it, man.
Who is he talking?
I'm gonna let you get at it, Jason. Let me get to something. I'm gonna bring you up in here in a minute. Shout out to Jesse Browning. Say bird up in the building. House Money Products. Say Georgia just got good in like 2020. Georgia like the winningest program behind only like Oklahoma. I don't know, like 3 other schools. How we just got good if we wanted the top winners. Like that's such a narrative that needs to not be leaned on. Kim in the building. What's going on, Kim? Appreciate you getting in. Who else getting in here? Oh, this is a lot of people going back and forth. I'll let y'all have at it. Jason, you're cool. You had a question or a rebuttal or thoughts?
Well, I didn't know which interview it was, and basically I've been running around all afternoon, so I definitely caught his media time in front of the podium, or whatever, but I hadn't seen any of his side interviews or whatever. Where
Right, because I was about to say, you know, they go main stage first, and then they go to the table, and I
Radio
think
Row, and all that kind of
right.
stuff.
I think Shawty saw the table. Was he sitting down, Shawty?
I saw him on the podium too. I thought he did well at the podium.
Yeah,
But
but
no,
when
I think he was sitting down. Like I said, it was a close up. He was sitting
right,
down.
that was the one.
So
Yeah,
I just don't know who it was, but it was just a different type of interview. And just in my opinion, I didn't like the body language. I didn't like the way he went through the interview. I'm just talking about from a
Was there a certain question or anything that you?
Yeah, I didn't get to see the radio row that like you did, Shawty. I got to see just the podium. That's the only thing
I guess my question would be: was there a certain thing that you thought that it kind of gave you a bad look? Because here's what I would say. I was saying this morning, I think you were watching this morning when I've said this, and I've said it before. I'm at the point that I don't know that you have any excuses anymore. Aside from them, you know, having a injury season like they had last year, I'm ready to see that learning curve flatten.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was actually going to say. I don't know if you see Ben G come in. It was almost like I would think he might should have started like at a Memphis first. I think he went to a big program too fast. I just don't think he was ready, especially after watching that interview.
They offered him multiple jobs too. It's weird that a lot of people at Clemson have always said they're surprised that he took the job because he had turned down Kansas State twice. He had turned down Auburn recently. You know, when Brian Harsin got it, he turned that one down. You know, he could have had multiple other jobs as a head coach in the last 10 years or that 12-year period that he was at Clemson. He didn't have to he was only willing to take a head coaching job if it was Oklahoma. Now, that's well and good if you hit the ground running. But in a situation like he came into, and Lincoln Riley did not leave a good situation for him, you know, it wasn't a good situation. They had to rebuild the defense from the bottom up because it sucked before. You know what I mean? And on top of that, they still lost 40-something guys when Lincoln left, including 2 5-star quarterbacks. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't blame him for year one. Year two, you know, they won 10, but there were some games that they shouldn't have lost, in our opinion. I mean, the Bedlam game, the Kansas game, you can't lose them. You can't lose both of them. And even though, you know, there was the Bedlam game kind of sucked as far as, you know, that was a bullshit call or a no call, but you should have not been in that situation anyway to begin with. You got to put yourself in a situation to run away with that game, and they didn't. If you let the officials have an opportunity to beat you in the last year in the Big 12, they're probably going to. But I think it's fair to say. I think it's fair for anybody to question them at this point, and including Oklahoma fans, which plenty of them are.
Right.
I do think that last year was a bit of an anomaly.
Right.
And if you go back and look at a lot of these games, I mean, look, Missouri, they were winning with 2 minutes left. They have a lead with 2 minutes left. They lose in regulation. You know, and they lose off of Jackson Arnold booting it off his knee. I remember us talking in the very first part of the season, Coach I, and after the Houston game, you're like, Jackson got happy feet. You know, and it's one of the things, and he did have happy feet. Look, I mean, the South Carolina game, no shade to South Carolina. They came out there and beat the shit out of them immediately, but you've got Bauer Sharp, a tight end, one-on-one with All-American edge rushers.
Yeah.
On all three of those scoring plays in the those damn plays. I mean, how you do that? It's just
South Carolina was a tough draw for any offensive line, much less offensive line that, you know, wasn't playing up to their standard because of certain, you know, different, you know, issues. Go ahead, Jordan.
I was just gonna say that my last thing about I'm not saying that BV isn't the guy. I just put it in a nutshell. He's not the guy to do it in 4 years at Oklahoma. It's gonna probably take him 6 years. That's all. If he gets 6 years, I think he'll be the guy. He's just not the guy to do it in 4 years.
Got you. Xavier Barker in the building. Say Roll Tide. But I think Jason brought up something, and I wanted to say Venable spoke to this. Hold on. Oh, talking about the quarterbacks. He said that Jackson Arnold and Michael Hawkins didn't have, he ain't like say they played bad, but he just said the supporting cast didn't help him out a lot last year. And a lot of that was due to some injuries, but even the guys that played didn't really help him out. So he's like, we asked a lot of those guys considering they didn't have the tools around them. So it's going to be interesting. Like Jason said, they went into the portal, got some receivers, got a running back. We'll see if he can be the guy he was 2 years ago and not have a lingering health issue. Or if he, isn't that same guy, because I think the offense will be better, just like at South Carolina, if their running back gets clear. Like if we talked about it last time, respect the edge. If you can run the ball, that opens up your offense. So that'll help out Mateer, even though he's been in this offense. Mateer did seem like he was having fun at media days. Like I think some of the guys seem so uptight at media days, like they don't want to say nothing. Like Mateer just kind of was going through interviews
since he got there, Coach. I mean,
right.
He stepped in and became a leader like day one, and he's out there talking shit to the defense and stuff. I mean, they don't win every damn time that they go out there against them in the spring, but it was he's definitely ratcheted up the competition level, which is something that really from day one we were hearing a lot of bad things about Jackson last year. He's throwing too many picks. He seems rattled real easy. They ain't even hitting him, and then he seems rattled. He never seemed comfortable, and this guy seems absolutely comfortable. And I don't know, talent-wise, I mean, look, he's done great. He had a great season. I've watched every one of their games that he played. He got better throughout the year. There was, they won they won the Washington game, but there were some things that I didn't think, man, he didn't look great here. And then the Tech game that they won, Texas Tech. That's on the road. Both those games were on the road, and he had moments where he didn't play great, but throughout the year he seemed to get better and better and better. And I mean, 44 touchdowns is 44 touchdowns. You know what I mean? I know it's not the SEC, but it is what it is. He seems to get a lot more. He got more comfortable in the offense and what his role was in it, and leadership has been basically what we've been hearing a lot of it. He's got a lot of swagger, and it can't be worse than it was last year on offense. That's all I could say.
I think if we all can agree to that. Dave Whitehead in the building says, "Evening, Stack. I'm gonna let you get your thoughts on OU, just the overall, SEC media days or things of that nature before we talk about these Florida Gators." You muted, Stat.
Wouldn't be a live show without it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
I enjoyed Mateer's interviews. I do like kind of the swag and confidence that he has. Obviously, that offense will roll depending on how good he can be going up against SEC defenses. When it comes to Brent Venables, I hate it because of what it could mean, but I think Brent Venables is Will Muschamp 2.0. I think he's an all-world DC that any school in the country would hire to be a DC. I just don't think he's the guy to be wearing the headset.
Gotcha. Jimmy Satterfield in the building. What's going on, Jimmy? Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. We got some of these comments, man. House Money Production said he thinks there's going to be a 3-loss SEC team that wins the SEC. Jonathan, you feel that way?
Nah, I think you're going to have a 2-loss. I don't think you're going to see 3 losses in some cases. I mean, damn, look at Texas's schedule.
That's what I've been saying, dog. It ain't even just about the team, dog. Their schedule compared to the other elite teams that's vying for this thing is not comparable, really.
Yeah, it's you'll have a 2-loss. I think you'll end up with a 1 or 2-loss SEC team. I think there's going to be the reality of the situation is this. If Gunnar Stockton pans out, if he does great this year, I don't know who's going to beat Georgia, right? So, I mean, you could play this role into a lot of teams this season. If you look at John Mateer with Brent Venables' defense prowess, Oklahoma is going to be a hard get, right? So, Alabama, if Ty Simpson pans out to be the 5-star he's supposed to be with this revamped crew on offense with this wide receiving core, I don't know how you're going to beat them. But I'll tell you one thing about OU. Brent Venables better win more than damn 7 games. Because man, I've been on those forums and those boards where they're talking, and they are talking loud about Brent Venables right now.
Which is what, when we was all on the show on Brisket Show Sunday, which was my point. I wasn't trying to poop on Auburn, but I'm like 7-5 at OU ain't the same as 75 at Auburn, dog. I don't
tried,
care.
bro.
I don't care how you spin it, dog. Like if you 75 at OU, I
I
don't care
agree
if
with
you
you
playing in
100% on that. By the way,
I'm like, I don't care if
agree
you
with
playing in
100%
the
on
Mountain
that.
West, dog. You
It's
get
not
looked
okay.
at sideways, dog. It's not,
Again.
oh, we doing stuff better. Mateer did this, but you went
Standard is the
75.
standard, bro. Standard is
Right.
the standard.
Right, and Ben G gets in. He's a Texas fan saying basically the same thing. No slander to BV, but first job because the expectations at OU is to win. And yeah, they hadn't won, a natty, but they was in the playoffs 4 straight years, and they was winning 10 games. OU different than Auburn, dog. Auburn, like we all can just think right now, okay, Auburn, Cam Newton championship, Auburn, Ronnie Brown and Cadillac, good. Auburn, Jarrett Stidham, Auburn, Nick Marshall. Outside of that, they've been Texas A&M. You know what I'm saying? It's just keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
Coach, I think we just have a problem with just people trying to compare, like, oh, Kirby being the next Nick Saban, and then now people saying, well, if Kirby could do it, because Kirby didn't take the long route of starting at the bottom as the head coach.
Right.
He sat with Nick Saban for 9 years, right? So now people are saying, well, BV sat in Clemson with Dabo Swinney for all those years. He should be able to do it too. You can't always replicate that stuff. Like Shorty said, sometimes it's just going to take time. Sometimes you just got to learn your path, right? So go through the rough patch. And I don't know if OU can withstand another 2 or 3 seasons of 7 wins.
I don't think they will, just because of the standard. I just don't think they will. I just don't think they will. That's what Shawty's point is. It's like, if he got 6 years, then he probably is the man or could be the man. But if he keeps doing what he's doing, OU standard isn't going to allow that. That's just.
And I think he knows that too, by the way. I don't think that let's not be crazy and act like he's not aware of the situation. You know what I mean? He is aware of the situation. And I think, look, I feel like I hadn't seen what the interview that Shawty's talking about, but to me, it felt like he was up there saying that he's confident. He's talked about it before this too, saying, look, whenever we won 10 games the last time I called this defense, 2 years ago. So I feel like I know that I can do this. And he said this, another thing he said is I've been coaching for my job every year that I've been a coach.
Right.
So it's, in the end, you guys could be right. I mean, hey, I said it myself earlier. I don't feel like he has a lot more excuses, and I feel like it's time for that learning curve to flatten out. There's things that we should not continue to see, a la the Ole Miss game when you call timeout on 4th and 4. You're in your own territory. I don't care if you're not going to go for it, but don't call timeout and punt. You can take a damn penalty and punt. Do not call timeout and punt at the end of the third quarter.
Right. And House Money Products is agreeing, says if BB doesn't win by the end of the season, he has to go. We love him, but this is business. Like I said, Oklahoma's just a different standard. That's just what it is. Zofix getting in. We appreciate it. Says it's fair criticism of BB, but I don't think it's as impactful as you make it sound. Again, this is not to project that they will go 7-5, but we're saying that if something like that happens, then the same. Let's just say OU's people ain't putting up with the same old. That's just not the standard. Again, that's and we know that as outsiders. USCJ in the building. What's going on, my guys? Say, fellas, what's good? How y'all like the number 1 recruiting class? Big Jason talking to me over. Listen. I ain't gonna front on you, Jay. Listen, we was number 1 for about 48 hours until we lost the defensive lineman to Texas today or yesterday. But that's okay. We got us.
If they hold on to the class, not unlike last year when they ended up
34 recruits right now.
Then
right.
We'll talk. But let me when they're 4-3 in October, then come and talk to me if they still have that number 1 class, because I don't see it.
Right. Listen, man. Y'all in here today, man. We're talking SEC Media Days, Day 3, Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida, Mississippi State. Y'all on Jason's Hall of Fame network, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button if you own the Sharpshooters or you own whoever you own to Fan Addict or Just My Damn Opinion. Shawty had to drop off because he is starting the show at 9:00 on Just My Damn Opinion. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. But y'all hit that like button, man. It's free to do, and it helps us bringing y'all this content for the low, man. Brisky, I'm gonna let you start out. We're gonna move on to Florida, man.
Or we'll whoop y'all behind.
Listen, man. Did you get the chance to check out Lagway or Napier today at SEC Media Days?
I didn't, man. I
Well,
didn't.
give
But
me your thoughts on the expectations going into the season, being that they finished the season what a lot of people would say on a hot streak.
yeah, surprisingly, Billy Napier still has a job. That's how I was feeling. And I had a bet with one of my partners, and I lost that bet because they weren't supposed to win 6.
Right.
They couldn't win. I said they weren't gonna win no more than 6 games, and they won over that. And they
Right.
beat teams I didn't think they was gonna beat, like LSU and Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Ladway went through that rugged schedule. I felt like it happened for a reason for him to get those reps early. Because I didn't really feel like he was gonna play much that first year. Especially with I forgot their quarterback name. Just that
DJ Lagway?
No,
Graham Mertz.
Graham
Mertz, yeah.
Until Graham Mertz got hurt. But man, they found a way. They returning a lot of guys. They getting a lot of guys in recruiting. They bringing a lot of guys in. Trey coming back at receiver definitely helps. Them getting Dallas Wilson in recruiting.
They asked him about that today.
Oh man, it's definitely high expectation for the Florida Gators this year. And especially if they can win, I say if they can at least come out of there with 8 wins, Billy Napier still have his job. Yeah, it definitely secure for sure then, because now you're still bringing in a good recruiting class. 8 wins, that's good. Then they're gonna have even higher expectations come DJ Latway Jr. So if they can come out of there with 8 wins, I think that's good for them.
Okay. TP Girl says greetings, Sharp. Jason shouted. Stat guy, Coach I, Jonathan, hit the like button. We appreciate it. I feel the same way. I feel like Florida is another one of those contingents that, I mean, we've seen it actually in person. You know, coaches winning games and still getting fired because they're not winning natties. That's what it is. Jonathan, your thoughts on Florida overall, and if you caught some of them at Media Day as well.
No, so I watched all their Media Day when it came to Florida. Number one, I mean, Billy Napier, unfortunately, needs media training. Shorty said they get some media training when they get there. I think he needs to redo it because he completely tipped his hand on who's starting a quarterback.
Right.
I mean, right away, he talked about how everybody's surrounding DJ Lagway, how he's the leader, and how, you know, they built a team around him. I don't know how Mertz has to feel after hearing that, but it had to be a gut punch in a sense to, I guess Lagway's going to be the guy moving forward. No, in all seriousness, though, they asked, obviously, the number one question to Florida: how is Lagway's health? I kind of had a red flag on that because Napier didn't get into any specific. Napier said he does what we always do and we've been doing, which is throwing the quarterback 3 days a week. Other than that, everything's progressing. Now I'm like, oh, you're not giving no health information on this dude. Now, could that be in the sense of, you know, your upcoming opponent, you want to give away who your starter might be or whatever that may look like Alabama does or has been doing since like 2019. You're not going to know who the starter is until like game day, 2 minutes till kickoff. I don't know. But I thought it was kind of strange from that perspective of just tipping your hand. Napier, I haven't watched much of his media, you know, beforehand, but he seems kind of awkward when it comes to the media. He definitely seems like he needs some training, but you know what I mean? Like, if you're winning games, if you're winning 8 games in that schedule last year, like we just alluded to, through that schedule, with Mertz as your starter, him getting season-ending injury, Lagway coming in, you know, as a freshman and having what he did and beating those teams, I'm taking it all day long. I think the problem right now is you have a lot of Oklahoma fans going, why is Billy Napier winning 8 games? And why are we winning 6 games when the schedules were very comparable? I think that's what a lot of people are saying because they had injuries as well. Their starting quarterback went down. Their second string got hurt. You know what I mean? Like, so there was a lot of comps to this. They weren't obviously as injured. There was a lot of points.
They scored more points than Oklahoma did.
They definitely scored more points. And, you know, a lot of people don't, in my opinion, give Billy Napier probably enough credit when it comes down to winning the 8 games last season. But yeah, that's what I took away from it.
Right. Dwayne Oakletree in the building. Appreciate you getting in. He said Texas taking Georgia 5 stars. They did 2 years in a row. Justice Terry last year and Tyler Atkins this year. Georgia. Kirby don't never. Just a side note, Kirby never lets the Georgia faithful sit in a stew for long. We got Nick Abrams today, and we should get the number 4 D lineman by the end of the week. So. We'll see, but yeah, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. I said it when we've all said it. Like you can't listen, man. You can't deal with the oil money, dog. The oil money just hit different. It's just what it is. So, shout out to Texas. Cordy in the building. Appreciate it. Said BV about to build a dynasty. Okay, Cordy. I hear you. Future, what's going on, my man? It says good evening, hookup. What's going on? Future, good to see you up in the building, my man. So, Shawty, your thoughts on Billy Napier? You kind of spoke to some of those same sentiments that Jonathan, talking about, maybe they could be a problem in the SEC if DJ Ladway do some of the stuff that he did last year.
So Jonathan just said exactly what I mean. I just speak more metaphorically. And that's what I mean by Billy Napier. Like to me I don't care what he said. I don't care what none of these coaches say in these particular meetings. I just go off their body language, how they position themselves and how they handle themselves, because I think that's a reflection of what the team is in a sense. Billy Napier, as country as he is and awkward as he is,
right.
He projects himself like a man that just came off an 8-5 season, and he feels damn good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I got him. He was sharp. He was clean. I mean, he felt good. I ain't feel no chink in the armor, no nothing. It's like to what they were saying about BB earlier.
Callan the boy,
the coach from Florida. He almost saying like, just wait till this year, see what I got.
Okay,
that's what I was getting from him. And if he can just win one more game with that schedule, I think they winning, folks. He winning.
Right. Hey, can't deny that, man. Especially if DJ turns out to be the Texas former Texas 5-star high school quarterback that everybody has him out to be. Hopefully, he's healthy. We can see what he actually can do because Billy did allude to him playing through a lot of injuries last year, even taking over for Mertz, who actually had a season injury. Shout out to Jeremy and saying Boomer Suda. We appreciate it. What did you say? What question you had, Jason?
So, something that I was noticing from the High Top guys, and shout out to High Top Sports, but they were talking about there's a lot of talk about apparently it wasn't necessarily his shoulder injury that they're worried about so much. He had a bad hernia throughout the year.
Which is even
from high school,
not throwing, but yeah, that was what I was about to say. That injury started in high school, and that's the thing. I'm interested to see him get through. I mean, we all know this the SEC line of scrimmage league. DJ is a big boy. Let's not what I'm saying, he's like 225, 230 pounds or something. But
yeah, he's a big kid.
But it's a lot of big D linemen out there too, and he plays the schedule against a lot of the good ones. So, and we know he's not afraid to run that thing. So we'll see if he can last throughout the year, and if so, what Florida can do with it. Brinsky, your thoughts on Florida?
Oh, I was the first one.
Oh man, I was about to say you had went dog on me. I'm like, I made sure I leave you out. I'll get Jason and Stat Guy in here. Stat Guy, thoughts on Florida, man?
Yeah, I'm with Jonathan. We know that DJ didn't participate in spring. Obviously, I wasn't expecting an update, but he's throwing the ball 3 times a week. Like, that was weird too. Like, if you're going to say that, I feel like you could have put a little bit of meat on the bone for us. Like, give me something, because let's be honest, Florida without DJ isn't scaring anybody.
That's true.
Facts. That's big facts.
And 2, I want to know how much work he's actually putting in.
Yep.
If he doesn't complete more than 58% of his passes, Florida's not about.
Right. I got you. Yeah, because he did he may end up being one of those guys, and me and Stat Guy talk about it a lot. Maybe he doesn't have the eye-popping stats, but apparently during the 6, didn't they win like 6 of the last 7 or something like that last year? So maybe he's just a winner, I guess. And it's
only
ugly.
Was that one whenever he didn't play, and they got beat by Texas pretty bad.
Right. And then Kim is referring to, I think when we was talking about BV coming into OU. saying no coach, regardless of who they are, could be handed his situation and thrive. There has been a lot out of this control roster early and devastating injury bug. Right. Definitely could see that. Definitely.
That's why he got this year.
Right. Jason, your thoughts on Florida and the expectations, and if you did catch any from
I did.
days.
Yeah, I was actually on with the High Top guys for a little while and watched some of that and watched DJ Lagway actually too. I think that they're coming in pretty confident. And I think as much as I like DJ Lagway, I'm Eugene Wilson is a stud.
Oh man,
I think they've got some firepower on that side of the ball, right? I think the best thing about that team is their defense. And I think that was a major reason that they played the way that they did throughout a lot of the season. They had a defense that was right on par with a lot of the other SEC top defenses. And when they got some offense, when Lagway was in, they were able to pull off wins. Now, when they didn't, you saw what happened against Texas. They got blown out. In Austin, he's not in the game. He comes back in the next week. They go right back to rolling. I think that they're a good football team. I don't know. I guess my concern would be like what you said. It sounds like he had a plethora of injuries, and if the hernia injury was something that had followed him from high school, it makes you wonder, did you get it fixed? Because those are the kind of injuries that can come right back. And a hernia, man, shit. I don't know anybody I know people that have had hernias before, and that is not something that you can just easily, play around with. And, it's whatever you think, it's a lot of pain, man. And so to be able to go through that, I think it's going to be tough. He's the running type of guy too. But I think as good as they are on offense, they're really good on defense. I think it's going to depend, kind of like Oklahoma. And I said this on High Top. I think that there's a lot of parallels between Florida and OU. They've got a lot of talent. They haven't really lived up to expectations that you would have at Florida or Oklahoma, because these are programs that are proud programs. They expect to win. They don't expect to get beat by their rivals a bunch of times in a row. They don't expect to get beat by anybody a bunch of times. You know what I mean? And so I feel like they should be pretty good. But I just wonder, I don't love his play calling. I don't love Billy's play calling. But without Lagway the whole season, what are they going to look like?
Facts.
It would be a concern. I think he's just as much on the hot seat because I don't think that anybody.
I was going to allude to that.
They don't want to hear any more damn from him either.
Right. Kind of, alluding to what Jay Lou was talking about earlier, and you just said it, Jason. Similar issues, winning. It's just similar pressure. And since Alabama was up on SEC Media Days, and Jay Lou is a recruiting guy, I'm gonna let him address Trojan Fights comment here. He says an Alabama commit that's from the West Coast is on flip watch. Do we know what commitment he's referring to, Jonathan?
I haven't got anything.
He's probably talking about anybody from
anybody.
Who do y'all have? I was about to say, who do y'all have that's good from California, possibly?
Let me bring up my big board. Because I don't know who would be even on the flip. I'll be honest with you. I don't know of anybody that's listed on Alabama's recruiting board right now.
On flip watch. Is he taking the Trojan Fight? Let us know. Is he taking the visit to Southern Cal? Is that why you're saying he's on flip watch, or what we got going on here? Why we listen?
Are you sure it's not because they're paying $20,000 a month to commitment?
We got some people out here doing now.
No,
they're doing it. Jay ain't talking about that on his show, but that's what they're doing.
Let's see here. You can go ahead.
It is a little bit more expensive out there. So 20,000 out there ain't like 20,000 over there.
Right.
Maybe that's why.
Per month you can get by.
Hey, 20,000 in Cali. That ain't gonna hit their pockets hard like it'll hit in Athens.
I mean,
you 20,000 money after you better be winning a natty the first year you come.
Yeah, you're right. Samuel Utu would be the only guy I could even think. Well, number one, he's the only guy I could think of that's even from the West Coast.
Right.
But to think of him is a flip. I mean, if there was one to pick, honestly, in this class, it would, because I didn't pick Utu to go to Alabama. Number one, a lot of these guys are kind of Malachi Lee was another one that I had pegged. I believe USC and did not end up going. Like, I don't know, but Utu would be the only guy. Brensky, do you know of anybody?
Most of our guys this year is guys from the state. With his
right. I was about to say all the 5 stars anyway. I'm not saying that whoever he's referring to ain't important. I'm just saying all the 5 stars y'all got here.
Man, nobody want to go to USC.
So
they've lost most of their guys from the state for the last few years. Lincoln doesn't do a great job of state recruiting.
Yeah, we might get them, but he can't keep them.
Right. That's what the thing. You see that all the time on Twitter. They talk about when somebody commits to USC, they'll be like, "Well, we'll see where he actually signs on signing day." And it's like it's kind of been their running thing for the last couple of years.
Xavier Griffin
to go through and win. I mean, do we expect them to win more than 6 or 7 games this year? Because I don't know that I do.
Well, what's crazy is, Jason, and I told Charlotte we might need to have, we started stat guys, like we need to have a show about like why ain't nobody talking about Lincoln? Like Lincoln Riley is not in the media. What's crazy at all this year. And I don't know if that's because nobody expects or they just got their head down grinding. I don't know, but that's a topic that I would love to dive into.
We should definitely get Jay on for that show for sure. Right. Make him talk about it.
right. And how the fan base feels, you know what I'm saying? So House Money says
changing conferences, all that kind of thing. Ain't nobody saying nothing about him. You know?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like House Money says
the Notre Dame game, and he already ducked a bunch of SEC games and shit. I mean, he's doing what Lincoln does.
So who is the backup quarterback? Graham Mertz. Okay, because he got hurt. He got a red shirt year.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize he got a red shirt year.
Okay, yeah, Graham Mertz.
So if he's healthy, I'm gonna be honest with you, the accuracy goes up. Now the athleticism goes down with Graham Mertz, but the accuracy goes way higher.
He was playing.
Yeah, he's super accurate. That's what I'm saying. He ain't got the biggest arm and the talent and the physicality that DJ possesses, but he's way more accurate than DJ. So
it'll change his playbook too.
It would. I was about to say it's definitely going to change his playbook, and they would rely. Even though I think Jaden Ball is a stud at running back there, they would rely more heavily, I would say, on him if DJ has to go down and he has to come back in. So,
back they got like 230, ain't he?
He's a big one.
I think he's like 230.
Yeah, he's a big one. So I don't know, man. Go ahead, Stat.
One more thing on Sunbelt Billy is I know somebody mentioned he might be on the hot seat or gone this year. I don't see, no matter what they do this year, it's going to be hard to fire him because he is currently killing it on the recruiting trail. I think if he keeps this class together, it'll be hard to let him go. Now, I would love for that to happen because, he came into our backyard and took my boy that I coached in basketball. All that.
Yeah, but they were doing the same thing last year, and they ended up falling down at the end of the.
They did.
And not only are they winning in the recruitment, but they're winning at some key positions. They got a nice offensive line recruiting class. They're getting some big boys on the D line.
Yeah, I think that they've done really well in the trenches. No two ways around it. But I'm just saying, if you're not holding on to this class, and you saw at the end of the year. At the end of the cycle last year, it may not have been in for this past season. It was the year before where they were top 5, and next thing you know, they were like 16.
Right. So more so than ever to that, Jason. More so than ever in this NIL era. Teams ain't stopping recruiting these guys. I mean, we just seen it. The D lineman that Georgia had, Texas State on him. He was committed to us for about 2 weeks.
That's how we got Xavier Griffin.
Exactly.
Y'all got Xavier Griffin from US from SC. We got Tootle. We got Tootle, the linebacker from Auburn. Yep. It's like, and this was happening before NIL, but more so now with NIL. It's like, hey, let's up the ante on this guy, see if we can get him to move. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stevie G for pulling up, man. We appreciate you getting in. Been a minute, Stevie G. So it says Trojan Fight says reportedly next year USC will only go for 15 or so recruits. So they really like the guys in this class. If somebody asked Trojan Fight how many people they had in the class, and I think it is 32.
Like 34, 35 is what they're talking about.
Right.
Maybe up to 40.
Jesus.
Or are we talking about what's allowed or what they have?
No, what they have. Yeah, what
I
they
can look
have.
it up right now.
No,
I thought it was.
I think they're well over 30 for sure, but they're targeting upwards of 35 to 40, I think.
It's a lot of people, but listen. Georgia got like 28, so
I don't know how it really helps. So I think you need to win now. I think it may feel like maybe he is safe because of the money. They still owe him $80 million. So I mean, there's a lot of money on it. But here's one thing: SC can afford to fire his ass. They can. I mean, they've got more money than most any program. You know.
It may be like that, but hey, like I say, just like we talked about with OU and Florida, SC ain't, man, I ain't saying they been winning since Matt Leinart and them, they ain't been like, 10 wins a year, but they still used to, having nice things. So Sugio English 1, hope I ain't messed that up, man. Say wipe your feet. We appreciate you getting in. Appreciate you getting in, man. So any last thoughts on Florida before we close out with Mississippi State today? All right. So I got to see Blake Shapen, and Blake started out the year throwing a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, then got hurt. I think he got hurt in like second or third game, something like that, and got a medical red shirt. He's back, says he's healthy, says second year in Jeff Levy's offense. I don't know what that means, but he says second year in Jeff Levy's offense, and the X's and O's are starting to be I guess come easier for him. Stat guy, thoughts on Mississippi State, SEC Media Days, and any expectations for the season with one of the hardest schedules in the nation?
Well, look, I'm keeping a buck with you. They're not on my schedule, and they trash, so I turned the TV off.
Jonathan, thoughts on Mississippi State, Levy? Listen, the state of the program, any of that, man, because they they at the bottom of the SEC, and I was thinking the day when I was watching Shapen, I'm like, man, like, somebody has to play there, right? Somebody has to coach there, but it's like it's just such an uphill battle at a place like a Mississippi State.
Mississippi State is. Look, I did watch Media Day. I'll be honest with you, it was the most uninteresting one out of all the ones I watched, and I'll be straight up honest with you. When I was listening to it, I was like folding laundry as they were talking to tell you how interesting they are. And the reason why I say that, all respect to Mississippi State, all respect to Jeff Levy, all respect to Blake Shapen. Mississippi State, I want to keep pounding this down. Their future is in Kamario Taylor. It's not in Blake Shapen. Blake Shapen, he's injury prone. I think the guy that's going to take that program to the next level when it does happen is going to be Kamario. I really like him. I get it. People want to hype up Blake Shapen. Go back to Baylor even before he got injured, man. You know what I mean? I get it. You want this hype with Luttrell and everything else. To me, this is one of the most uninteresting hires in a long time, in my opinion, with the SEC because of what he lacked when he brought everything to Mississippi State. There was nothing. There's not even a flash in the pan, in my opinion, when it comes to this program. So I don't know how you go up. I'll be honest with you, I'm a stat guy on this. I think they're going to be terrible. I think they're going to remain terrible for a long time, hopefully forever. I equate them to Auburn, bottom of the barrel, Cal College. Anyways, but moving off from that, that's all I got to say.
I like Kamario Taylor, though. Kamario Taylor's a bad dude.
He is.
Right. I think it's at a place like Mississippi State, one thing I'll say, I think it is an uphill battle, but what Shawty always say, they get the same piece of the pie. They do. Sharing the SEC revenue at the end of the season that everybody else gets. So if you can do it at one place, why not? But that's I'll let Shawty get in here and talk about that. But our future is just a key here. He's asking about the Florida program. Says outside of Lagway, what about their defense? He says he has no idea because that's just as important as the QB talk. Like, they do return a lot of production on their defense. I'll say that. Their best corner went to the NFL draft, but that doesn't mean they do have two good safeties. I don't know what they're going to do at corner, but the front is supposed to be pretty decent. And I think if you looked at any Cole Kublik, he did like his rankings of each position. I think he had Florida's D-line in the top 5 in the SEC. So that's what I'll say about the Florida defense. I think a good offense can help out a defense as well. So if they play in complementary, they may look as good or down the stretch. Now, outside of LSU and Florida during that 7-game stretch, I don't know if they beat anybody of a relevant offense, but I will give them, kudos for beating LSU and Florida down that stretch. So I'll say that about that. So Bresky, your thoughts on the uphill climb in Starkville, and if like, do they even need to show up to SEC media days?
They are there so they won't get fined.
Exactly.
That is the only reason why they are there.
Exactly.
I don't know why he even took that job. That would not be my
No
first
clue.
head coaching job.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I have nothing to say about. Only thing I'm happy about with Mississippi State is Tony Mitchell, who used to play for us, is he found a new home.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm just praying for him. That is it.
Gotcha.
Outside of that, I don't care nothing about Mississippi State.
Oh, and their
Right.
recruiting has gotten worse, by the way, if that could even happen.
That's
so
crazy.
I'm just going to throw that out there real quick. So ever since Oklahoma and Texas came into the SEC, there's just not enough anymore. And no, look, I don't know what to tell them anymore.
Right. So, Shorty, two things. I think what Brinsky just said about him taking that as his very first head coaching job, was that a good decision? I mean, I know you got to take what come to you, but if Mississippi State wants you, that means somebody else probably, like, you know, like maybe a I don't know, Big 12, or even go down to like a Group of 5 or whatever wants you. And then the second part of that is, you always say they're getting the same piece of the pie that everybody else getting. Can they do it? Is Mississippi State a place you? I mean, Dan Muller did it for a year, so.
Well, I mean, just look at this. Ole Miss is just down the road. They don't have 3 10-win seasons, same conference in the last 5 years. So again, it's about getting the right guy. And once you get the right guy, everything else comes with the administration, the money, yada 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 yada. But just in terms of him taking this the first job, I mean, he had his reasons. I don't know what was going on both sides of the coin. He may feel like he had to leave where he last was. There maybe was no future there. He may have felt like that coach would be gone in 2 years, living on take a head coaching job.
So
you never know. I'm just saying, you never know. That could
right.
So he's thinking about his security and going there. He can be a head coach and make $4-5 million for the next 5-6 years because the standard is so low, as opposed to staying where he was. I mean, he took it for a reason. I just took a jab at Jason just to ride him a little bit. But he took it just for whatever reason. I don't know. But I would say this about him. You know, I saw his interview. I thought he stood strong. I think he knows. I think he knows what he wants to do with the program. But again, as I said about the other coaches, I don't care what none of them said. I was just about how they project themselves. I thought he projected himself well, but the optics wasn't well. Right. Had on the suit, no tie, and shirt one tucked in. Come on, Mississippi.
What we doing out here, right? Shout out to Corporate Duck for
getting in. Your team is a reflection of you. You see what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go no deeper than that, but you see what I'm saying? When you see the other coaches,
you gotta do listen, man. You gotta do all the small things right, so all the big things fall into place. You know what I'm saying? Corporate Duck getting in and say, "What's up, y'all?" Appreciate you getting in. Jason, I wanted to talk to you about Levy because he was y'all OC for a year or two, you know, at OU, and then he got out. It does seem like we don't know the reasons behind why he took the job. He could have been on, you know what I'm saying? He could have been on the hot seat, or he could have just been like, hey, let me get out of here because it might not be promising here for me.
Art Briles was the start and the end of that stuff. Whenever that happened on the field and you had Parker Thune taking pictures of him being there, he'd been there pretty much every week already at that point. And whatever, you know, the reaction from the fans, and then from what I understand, it was a complete lie from Joe C saying that it had been established that he was not to be on the field around the team, anything like that. That wasn't the case. He was leaving one way or the other. Whether he got that job or not, he was out. So
it's a good thing he landed in the SEC money wise anyway, you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, listen, I think it's a tough situation for anybody. I think that if anybody's going to flip, you know, we've seen Leach go over there and be able to win 7-8 games and stuff like that with just an offense and not much of a defense, and that's what Leach did. I think that you can assume that, from what I understand, I think that Art Briles is around the program plenty over there, and that's probably not a bad thing as far as trying to get them moving in the right direction on offense and stuff like that. They didn't have it in the trenches, though. They did not have it in the trenches last year. They didn't have all they couldn't really go good on good because they didn't have enough good guys for either side to be playing. So that was something that he talked about. I saw a little bit of his stuff away from the main podium, and he was kind of speaking about that, kind of similar stuff to what you heard Sark saying whenever he took over at Texas, that they didn't have enough offensive linemen for them to really have a spring game, that kind of stuff. So I think it's one of those things that I think that Levy's okay. I think he's a pretty good coach. I don't know that this is going to work out for him.
Facts. I see you got to go, man. Shout out to guy Jason. Got to get up out of here, man. Let the people know where they can find you and what you got going on, my man.
Yeah, Hall of Fame College Football. It's at HOF-CFB right here on YouTube, and we will be back on Friday morning for sure. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Actually, I'm kind of fill people in on it a little bit more over the next couple of weeks, but some new shows that we're working on, and we're going to continue doing what we do from day to day, doing the morning show, doing the evening show and stuff like that. But hey man, it's 44 days after today, until college football season, and I'm pumped about it, man. I can't wait to do a lot more work.
There it is, man.
All you guys and get back into business, man. I can't wait.
Bro.
Right, y'all make sure y'all get over to Hall of Fame College Football with Jason Watkins, man. Hit that like and subscribe, turn the bell notification on, man. He'll be bringing you that content. We appreciate you jumping on with us today, Jason.
Man, thanks for having me in, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. We'll see you on the next one. So, man, Mississippi State, I ain't mad at the dude for taking it, like I say, money-wise, even just to be in the SEC. And like Shawty said, we don't know. We know what Jason's telling us, that he was going one way or the other. Maybe he didn't have a lot of other offers. I don't know. But just Mississippi State, that's a tough road right there, dog. That's just
but just look at it from a financial standpoint. He was making maybe $1 million at OU, right? Maybe $1 million as an OC.
Yeah.
So whether they were going to bring him back or not,
why pay raise
OC? I could work 2 years at Mississippi State, and that's 10 times as much I would have made. And you know what I'm saying?
That'll be the equivalent of being the OC for 10 years. Right.
And I go back to another big school at some point, being the OC again, after I make $20 million. You know what I'm saying?
And like you say, maybe, I think we all kind of on the same line. Sometimes some people need to start smaller, but with that financial aspect you just dropped in there, maybe he can stay there, because Mississippi State ain't got the standards that none of our teams on this panel have, and they give him a little bit of leeway. He coached there for 4 years. He making $20 million, dollars or so. Now he can go down to, I don't know, wherever, Troy or somewhere, not to put your boys out there like that, beast up in Alabama. I'm not gonna wish that on them. I'm just saying.
Coach, he may just go back to stay in the SEC as an OC.
Maybe he just goes as an OC, but he's already built his bank account at that point. Chicken, what's going on, my guy? See you getting in, man. A little bit late on the. Hey, man, we appreciate everybody getting in, and y'all been highly active in the comments, man. A lot of us been going back and forth with each other, man, but we appreciate y'all getting in. I'm trying to get to some of these comments, man. Castor Troy Boy says Michigan will be more than motivated. Y'all may hope you face a freshman other than more experienced quarterback. Talking about OU. That is the second game, if I'm not mistaken, of the season for OU, or the third. Jonathan, do we know?
I believe it's the second game.
That's the second game. Second game. That is going to be a big game. I think me and Stat and Shawty was talking about this. I don't care, or I don't know what the offense is going to look like for Michigan, but one thing we do know is that defense will travel. And Shawty pointed out that Michigan kind of makes you play their game. You know what I'm saying? Ohio State in the last couple of years have had one of the better offenses, if not, top 3 offenses in the nation. But when they play Michigan, it's like Michigan slow that thing down, make it ugly because of that defense in the run type game. So while OU may have the better quarterback in this situation, OU's got a good defense. Michigan got a good defense. I think it's going to be one of the more telling games at the beginning of the season. I do know for OU, they got those 5 games at the beginning. I think 3 of them are not gimmies, but guarantees, I should say. But then you got Michigan and Auburn in those 5.
They got to go out at least 4-1.
I feel like they got to go 4-1. If they don't, if they go 3-2, the season ain't gonna look as great. What's up, Stat Guy?
I was going to say one thing to keep in mind heading into that Michigan game. Everybody talks about the 4,100 combined yards and all the touchdowns from John Mateer. He also got sacked 33 times last year and turned the ball over 10 plus times between interceptions and fumbles. So that is definitely something to watch out for coming into the SEC. Obviously, Michigan with the defense they play behind an offensive line that was bad last year and is going to be unknown again heading into this year.
That's right. House Money Project speaking on Levy say Levy's predictable, just like Lincoln Riley in pivotal situations. They both have tendencies to tuck away when it matters. And that's something, if that's the case, he's going to have to get out of at Mississippi State. If he wants, I mean, like I say, we thinking, lower expectations, you keep the job for a little bit longer, but they still don't want to go, they go 2-10 last year or something like that with no conference wins. I don't think they don't want any conference wins in the next 3 to 4 years. I think we got to get one. We got to get one. We got to get 1 or 2, you know what I'm saying? Because not for nothing, I don't know if they on Vandy and Arkansas and Kentucky schedule this year, but if they not, they will be the next 2 seasons. So at some point, and not no shade to them, but they kind of struggling too. You know, you got to get some wins, win 1 or 2 here somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So with the teams that we talked about today, Bama, Mississippi State, Florida, OU. I'll start with you, Jonathan. 2 biggest games for Bama this year.
Well, I mean, obviously traveling to Athens is always going to be clearly
low hanging fruit, Jonathan. I ain't gonna let you off the hook like that.
obviously. But I mean, no, the ones I really want to pay really close attention to is probably going to be LSU, because it's going to be a real testament to our secondary with Garrett Nussmeier throwing the ball. So I really want to see how that pans out and really see if our secondary is what it's supposed to be put out to be with Mo Linguist and these guys. Because Mo Linguist, I don't know about Brensky. He shocked me, right? Coming from Buffalo, and the expectations were very low to a lot of people, including myself. He's proven not just to be, it seems like, developing these defensive backs, but recruiting his absolute, ass off, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, I'd say LSU. And then, I mean, it's just because what Oklahoma did to us last year, that was dirty, man. I mean, only scored 3 points, and they beat us the entire game. So, that's going to be one. Auburn, to me, Hugh Freeze. I don't know if Hugh Freeze will even be there by then, to be completely honest with you. Deuce Knight will probably be the starting quarterback by then. But, yeah, there's so much to this. But, yeah, I'm obviously I think Florida State in the trash talking as well. I can go on and on. Every game to me gets personal to some extent.
All right, before I move on to Stat Guy, tell me of the other 3 teams, Mississippi State, Florida, and OU. Not Mississippi State, Florida and OU. Give me a big game for each of those teams. Jonathan.
You were asking.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you. Yeah.
Go ahead. Repeat the question.
I said I want you to give me 1 game for Florida and 1 game for OU. Big game of the season, or means a lot, or pivotal.
Florida is definitely. Well, I'd say Florida is going to be Oklahoma, and vice versa. And the reason why I say that is because I think it hinges both their seasons. I really do. Just like we already pointed out, if Oklahoma loses that Florida game, and let's say they lose the Michigan game, they go into that Red River rivalry 3-2. I mean, their season could be an absolute disaster. And the same can actually be said for Florida. So their first 5 games, their season are kind of hinging the same way, because the back end of Florida's schedule is an absolute nightmare. So I think that's what it comes down to. Now, Oklahoma, I think, how are you going to do traveling into Tuscaloosa? And I'm not just saying that as a Bama fan, but is Brent Venables' defense going to continue to grow week by week, right? So just like it did last year, and hopefully Alabama does the same with Kane Womack. I just want to throw that out there.
Gotcha. Stat Guy, Bama, game for Bama, game for Florida, and a game for OU that they need to circle is important or pivotal to their season.
The game for Bama, of course, is coming up the road to that there Columbia, South Carolina. They got lucky and escaped in Tuscaloosa with a win last year after my boys recovered the onside kick, couldn't kick a field goal. South Carolina's got it circled. They better have it circled, because we about to lay the smack down to them. For Florida, I think it's the world's largest outdoor party with Georgia and Jacksonville. I think it's time they beat you. I think if Billy Napier wants to save his job, that it starts right there in Jacksonville. And then for Oklahoma, a team that went into Norman and spanked them last year, I think they want to go on the road and get some revenge. And I think it's South Carolina as well. And the thing with that game is for any OU fan planning to travel to South Carolina early in October, you better wear 2 deodorants for that noon kickoff. It's going to be hot.
It is gonna be sweltering down there in Cola, South Carolina, man. Even in 12 o'clock in October. So stat guy picking South Carolina as 2 of these teams games they need to circle. Brinsky, same for you, man. Give me 2 since you're a Bama guy. Give me 2 for Bama, 1 for Florida, and 1 for OU.
I'll say Florida State for the first game, just see how we'll come out the gates. Jonathan already said Oklahoma because we're gonna beat that ass. Come home.
Thank you. Beat it.
What other game? And he said Georgia. Always Auburn, man. The Iron Bowl, of course, best rivalry in sports. It's not even close.
Don't let the OU Texas fans hear that now.
It's not even close. It's nowhere near close. As ESPN, they made a 30 for 30 on it.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's gonna come down to that Iron Bowl because it's somebody that's going into Jordan Hare all the time, man. It's gonna be a big game. Coach Kalen and the boys' first Iron Bowl on the road, so hopefully we can come out of there unscathed. So we'll see.
Okay. Benji was getting in on our Mississippi State content, saying that they played Texas tough for almost 2 quarters. I do remember that, but it got kind of ugly after that. So it's like I get you. I mean, they got up for 2 quarters, but they got to be able to do it a little bit more than that if they're gonna get a win. Like I say, since they didn't win an SEC game last year, this year I guess the goal is to win one. You know what I'm saying? They got, like, if you increasing, maybe that helps out. And like I say, so like Shawty say, so you can stack that cheese for a couple more years. You know what I'm saying? Shawty, same for you, man. Game for Bama, game for Florida, game for OU that they need to circle or they need to pay attention to, or it's gonna get crazy.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, man. Y'all some wild boys in the comments.
Right, there is definitely wild in the comments.
So I've been looking at the schedule, man, and this is why I was laughing too, man. I'm with Stat guy. I hate to say it, but for Bama, I'm looking at the schedule just because of where it's placed. It's sandwiched between Tennessee and LSU.
And they got to go to Columbia.
Right. So for Bama, I'm gonna say South Carolina. Now, I think Bama should win that game, but just based off of where it is in the schedule, I think it could be a sleeper game, to be honest. I really do.
We don't think it's gonna be easy now.
I'll be sleeping during that game.
You say you're gonna be asleep during that game?
Yeah, by halftime I'll be asleep.
Don't let him fool you.
All right, give me your Florida and your OU game.
So for Florida, did it have to be a conference game?
Yeah, no, just a game on their schedule, period.
So I'm gonna pick Miami. I just once again just because where it's placed on the schedule. They sandwich between I just had it. They sandwich between Texas and LSU. So I think, yes, exactly. That's why I picked Miami. They sandwich between those 2 teams. And Oklahoma, again, I went with South Carolina because they sandwich between Texas and Ole Miss.
So South Carolina.
It's that guy.
Shane Beamer and company showing up as pivotal games on these teams' schedule. What's up, Robo77? Appreciate you getting in. Say what's up, fellas. Come on, playing season, tired of this and talking season. Right. Hey, listen, I'm with you, Rob. That's why we take such a hiatus on the fan egg. It's hard. Like now, SEC Media Days for a lot of us signifies the start of college football being in the air. Fall camp is 2 weeks away, and then you'll have some actual stuff to talk about. But I'm with it, man. Let me go on and see on Bama schedule. I'm kind of with Brinsky. Like, I think they should handle Florida State, but you still want to see what they look like coming out the gates. You know what I'm saying? Billy Napier did allude to having 17 seniors this year, which is double what he had last year. He only had 8 seniors last year. So you want to see what this more snaps look like against a Florida State team who is trying to find their identity. They got to come and figure some stuff out, or he gonna be gone down there in Tallahassee. So I ain't saying he gone if he don't beat Bama, but trust me, the trustees is looking at this dude like, you better make it a game, if nothing else, especially playing at home right out the gates for Alabama. For OU, I actually think it's the Michigan game. That Michigan game gonna tell us a lot, but I think it's kind of, we talked about it. I said it earlier, and Shawty mentioned it, is like we in talking off camera. That first 5-game stretch, they got 3 gimmies, but then they got Michigan and they got Auburn. I don't think they can come out of that 5-game stretch 3-2 and expect to be eight wins. I think because that's going to tell a lot about what's going on. Because the rest, I mean, we all know OU got one of the hardest schedules in the country, not just the SEC. So the last 7 games of the year is just banger after banger after banger after banger. And so coming out of that first 5-game stretch at 3-2 would not be good. For Florida, I think it's Georgia, to be honest with you. I mean, like, I think somebody mentioned it earlier, like you can't keep losing to your rival. I think it was Jason. You can't keep losing to your rival over and over and not making the playoffs and have the native state, not restless. They're going to be restless because they want to beat Georgia. They want to make the playoffs. They feel like you got more talent. If DJ Ladway is healthy, you can't keep coming out of that game with losses and then expect the fans to not be, raving about that. So that's what I think, man. So we appreciate all y'all jumping on today, man. Any of y'all let me go around the board. Y'all tell us what y'all got going on. Shawty, it's crazy. I was sending people to Just My Damn Opinion, and you came back in the doggone back, dog. I'm like, go over there and check out Shawty.
Yes, I had lost power, but I wasn't gonna do a show tonight. Cal he get back in town late, so we decided not to do a show.
I got you. All right, man. Well, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, man, you can find me on Respect the Hedges, obviously on Tuesday nights. We get back in the swing of things, so y'all definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You catch me every Tuesday on Respect the Hedges. Also on Wednesday nights at Just My Damn Opinion at 9 o'clock. And believe it or not, I pop up on some of the other guys' shows too. So man, you can see me everywhere, man.
Got it. Make sure y'all go to Just My Damn Opinion, hit that like and subscribe, turn that bell notification on because you never know when Shawty gonna pop up. J. Lou, tell them what you got going on, my guy.
Bama Standard Networks, where you'll find me on YouTube, TikTok at Bama Fan Podcast. Other than that, if anybody goes to any of the Alabama games, like with you, Coach I, and all you guys, I'll be at all of them, home and away, tailgating. This year is going to be the year I can say I went to every game. So we going in this year.
Right. Moon Rocker, what's going on, my guys?
You coming to Athens, Jonathan?
Yeah, I'm coming to Athens. I'm going to every game.
Right. We'll definitely get up for that Bama game, man. Okay. Britsky, tell us what you got going on, my guy.
But of course, man, y'all can find me at the Sharpshooter Sports Talk. Y'all already know I'm right there. Say sub here, come here. Got a show tomorrow, summing up all of SEC Media Days. Talk a little more about this Teddy Bridgewater situation and all that. You can catch Jonathan on there. Coach I back in the mix. Good to see you, Stat Guy. Glad you're feeling better, brother.
Yep.
Shawty, been a minute, man. Been a minute. Good to see you. And definitely shout out to Tuskegee University. F. Morehouse on because Moon Rocker right there. So that's my guy.
Taking some shots there, Moon Rocker. Moon Rocker says sound like Carolina getting some decent schedule breaks. Talking about the OU and
Go Hornets,
Bama,
right?
And the Bama coming into the town.
I've been around long enough.
Stat Guy, we got you back in the building, man. Tell them what. Well, they know where they can find you. They'll tell us anything else you got to tell them before we get out of here.
Yeah. Hey, man, look, 5 weeks and 1 day until we get some real football. It'll be here before we know it. Your boy back feeling right. I'm ready for the football season. Going to be here all year long. You better get ready because I got some stuff to talk about this year because my Gamecocks are going to be good, and that ain't good for nobody.
That's right, man. Talking season almost over with, you know what I'm saying? And we all ready for the college football season to get started. That week 1 slate, Labor Day weekend, is going to be a lot telling. It's good football, and I'm glad I can pay attention to all of it. You know, we playing Marshall. Hey, we go out there, we need to handle business, but I can like really focus on the other games, man.
Oh,
what's up?
Can we clap it up for 8:30? That's a hell of a slate, man. Clap it up for the Lakers, man. Hey, 8:30 is gonna be a hell of a day, man.
Listen, man, that day is I just looking at the games. I don't remember the last time we had this many games. So it's about 8, 9 games. I put it in one of my group chats with my some of the guys I went to school with. And just looking at it, man, there was like out of all the games, it wasn't like of course we all picked Bama to win. You know, Bama plays Florida State, Georgia Tech, and Baylor's gonna be a good one. I want to say Tennessee and Syracuse, Clemson, LSU, Texas, Ohio State. Like it's getting crazy that first weekend, man. And if you're not watching college football and you on one of our channels, I don't know what you're doing.
You better hire a babysitter. That's all I can tell you.
Listen, that's right. Don't let no distractions get to you now, because it's gonna be some heat on that day, for real. So we appreciate everybody jumping in on all the channels, man. Just my damn opinion, Hall of Fame, Twitter. Got Jason, you got your Brancy, you got your sharpshooters on here. Somebody up here in the top. I can't even tell who it is. Oh, that's just my damn opinion. Okay. And then Hall of Fame, YouTube, and Fanatic, Facebook, and my regular Facebook. So we'll be back at this thing tomorrow to close out SEC Media Days. Your boy is back. Coach I, we here all week talking with SEC Media Days, man. So we appreciate everybody coming through, dropping the comments, man. Listen, I want to shout out everybody in the comments, man. Y'all been going ham, and I appreciate that, man. House Money Products, Jeremy Turpin, Castor Troy Boy, Sooner Legends, who else in here? ZSB Lou, you got in here at the end. Kim Hurst, Moon Rocker. Let's go. Sooner in Texas. We got a lot of people up in here today. Let's see. Keep going, guys. Y'all was going at it in the comments, but the comments. Listen, I'm glad I didn't post the comment. I was gonna have the comments flowing on the side. I'm glad I did. They was going in. QWERTY in here. Who else in here? William Macmillan in the building said, y'all better be concerned about FSU. If you ain't, Bama. That's what they saying. That's what I'm just saying. I'm just reading the comments. Don't shoot the messages. You know what I'm saying?
3 touchdowns.
Rob 077, BNG, Bishop Frank, Scott Walker.
Do they have an early spread on that game?
Yeah,
14.
That sounds about right. Sooner Cowboys. That does sound about right. Who else in here? TP Girl. We had a lot of folk up in here today, and Richie Dubs was in the building. God, who else? Don't make me miss it. If I miss you, y'all. Jimmy Satterfield was in the building. We appreciate it. Xavier Barker. Oh man, hey, you got a Trojan Fight. I got
to say one thing.
Yep. Go ahead. I'm looking. Go ahead.
Tomorrow, my birthday.
Tomorrow's Brisky birthday. Yes, it is. Right. Oh, and speaking of birthdays, shout out to Hog Wild Podcast, SEC Mo. His birthday is tonight.
He will be. Man, I gotta show my boy Mo some love.
Right. And SEC Mo will be on the Fanatic tomorrow night talking Hogs and Sam Pittman, and if he's gonna last throughout the year, which I don't think he will.
That should be a short segment. I'm just playing.
Over under 1 minute.
Right. Corporate Duck was in the building today. Dwight. Man. Who else? But yeah, man. Shout out to Brisket. Sugio English was in the building today. Yeah, I know I'm gonna miss some of y'all, but I'm trying here. Stevie G, my guy, was in the building. Who else? I got you, TP girl.
Hey, can I ask a question while you looking through that, Coach?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jonathan, are y'all gonna adopt a GM at Alabama?
Are we gonna adopt a GM?
Well, not. I mean that strategy. Because Georgia, we're not gonna have a. You know how a lot of schools are getting GMs.
Yeah, we got a we talking about general
Y'all
manager.
have a GM?
Yeah, Courtney Morgan.
Okay. Cause I don't think Kirby. I think Kirby
No.
stated that we're not going to have a GM.
Yeah,
Well, Kirby
We'll see how
controlled
long
too
that
much.
lasts.
No, Kirby could listen. Kirby, I don't think Kirby can function if he ain't got control.
I got you.
That's
No,
just how, that's. I like think it's like I think Nick Saban was the same way. I don't think Nick Saban would have had a GM if he was.
He was
there.
over both sides, director of personnel and operations. Whereas, DeBoer is relinquished as director of personnel all to Courtney Morgan. So,
But that kind of goes with what I think. That kind of goes in line with what John told us earlier about him not really being in the media type guy. Ryan Grubb being the one talking. You know what I'm saying? He like, let me just focus on this field stuff. Y'all focus on all this other stuff. Whereas other people, like I say, like I don't think a lot. Like I don't think Dabo's bringing in one. I think he likes to, have that, control too. Shout out to Dwayne Ogletree was in the building today. I don't do this often as far as going back up in these comments. It's Scott Walker.
Stack, y'all got a GM?
USCJ. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think Beamer likes to manage as well.
Okay.
So
man, you gotta think that's Beamer's bread and butter of what makes him a good head coach.
yeah.
It sure as heck ain't calling one side of the ball or another. Beamer is the GM.
Right, Dave Whitehead in the building. Go ahead.
I'll be honest. I'm shocked we got a special teams coordinator. I'm like, why are we wasting money on that?
Oh,
Right.
He's a special team guru, ain't it? That's it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's what he was in Athens that one year and at OU for 3 years. So that's his calling. You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
Jesse Browning in the building. I think that is it. My boy B Shaw was in the building earlier today. That's it. We appreciate everybody, man. So make sure y'all check out all these channels, Bama Fan Podcast, the Bama Standard also network, because John's is really puppet master behind the scenes on a lot of that stuff. Brinsky Sharpshooter Sports Talk. Y'all make sure y'all get at him. You doing a show on your birthday, Brinsky?
I'm doing the show. I more than likely probably do one just because I ain't gonna be on there alone, man. Got to drink a little bit.
Just got to drink a little bit. Check out Just My Damn Opinion. Y'all can catch us on Respect the Hedges on Tuesday nights, every night, every week at 8 p.m. Eastern time, man. Again, appreciate everybody. Until next time, man, we'll see you when we see you, and go Dogs.